How much longer, I wonder?
Blakemore. A large and broad man turns to you, trying to smooth his thick tousled hair. His deep voice could have belonged to a giant. Hey, who are you? I'm a fan? Success? The man heaves a heavy sigh. Ugh, another fan. You fans are the bane of my existence. And of course you're here seeking stories of the legendary Blakemore the Wizard. How can I help you? I'm in need of a wise advisor. Would you like to work for me? Ha! I've been an advisor once already, and I don't want to do it again. I once served one of the merfolk kings. My service went on quite successfully until I got into an affair with the princess, the king's daughter. Though her virtue was guarded day and night, and anyone who dared approach stood under threat of execution, my feelings overtook me, and we managed to run away together. But on the third day, they caught up with us, the whole merfolk army. My death was imminent, but of course I had a brilliant solution in hand. After the merfolk soldiers captured us, I entertained myself with card tricks. The merfolk were mesmerized by my talents and demanded I teach them, so I suggested a wager. We'd play cards. If I lost, I had to teach them my card tricks before they executed me. But for the next 3 days, I couldn't lose. I won all their money, armor, weapons, their dolphin mounts, their funny bone things they like to put in their ears, and even their flute of the 100 sea winds, which used to belong to their general. After 3 days, I'd become quite rich. Then the general ordered the fighters to execute me with their bare hands. But at just that moment, my princess arrived. All this time, she'd been looking for a way for us to escape, and she'd finally found something. It was a pirate ship. We climbed aboard, I blew the flute of the 100 winds, and our sails nearly burst, taking us away. Unfortunately, things didn't work out between me and the princess. She turned out to be quite unpleasant company. But she discovered some new talents, and now she's a successful circus fortune teller. All of that because I asked him if he wanted to be an advisor. What are you doing here? This humble dwelling is my workshop. It's where I'm creating my masterpiece. The Cyan Magistic Grimoire, a calligraphic work of art. The client who ordered it is my good friend, Captain Martin. Oh, he must be getting so impatient by now. I'm so far behind schedule. I just want the Grimoire to be perfect, you see. Perhaps it's time to finish the Grimoire? Blakemore stares at the scattered pages with ill-concealed yearning. The book is almost finished. It's a phenomenal piece of work. All it needs is a couple of alterations. Everything must be perfect. His voice trembles, but if you could come back in a week, the book should be ready by then. I have almost no doubt about it. It's important to be able to accept closure. Maybe it's time to put a period on it. Blakemore opens his mouth to argue, but then just sighs and waves his hand. Yes, you're right. Perfection is always impossible. Received Blakemore's Grimoire. Why do you give it to me? I'd like to learn more about you. Where should I start? I'm Blakemore the Wizard. I've seen many things, been to many places. I'm from the northern realm of the Mammoth Lords to hot Katapesh and even to more exotic places such as First World. You've been to First World? I got into First World by chance, but in spite of that, it was easy for me to find a job there. I was soon substitute rector at a rather remarkable academy, which was located on the back of an elephant with 3 eyes and numerous tusks. Actually, the elephant had served as the former rector before he caught a rare elephantine disease. I moved on once he recovered. Seeking new purpose, I wound up at the Sin Market, where I made a bargain and came away with a fair amount of dangerous curiosity. On top of that, a sack of tobacco, generously mixed with dirty thoughts, 4 to 1. A horrible mixture to smoke, but my purchases didn't make me happy. Soon, after my curiosity, together with a swarm of my good friends, the squirrels, helped me discover that one of the eldest, the Lantern King, was playing a dirty trick on another elder, Shaika, by assuming her form and visiting her. Chrono Mistress Shaika always carefully avoided meeting herself, and she'd been jumping all over the timeline like the water strider across the surface of the pond, because the Lantern King was assuming her form to trick her. After I revealed the game, I earned his unwanted attention, and I left the First World for good. As a gesture of thanks, Shaika opened a portal for me, but after I stepped in it, I saw that Shaika's appearance had changed, and in her place stood the Lantern King. It was not Galarian on the other side of that portal, but a far more dangerous place. As Jubilos listens to the story, he opens his mouth to interrupt, but then he closes it as he realizes the futility of the attempt. When Blakemore finishes, the gnome just sighs. Desna, help me sort out this mess. Half the story seems to be made of reliable facts, and the other half sounds like unmitigated bullshit. Even in relation to the story of First World, which is already insane by nature. How did you wind up in Katapesh? I wound up in Katapesh by pure chance. I was planning to sail further, but seasickness had overtaken me. Katapesh is an amazing place, but I had little chance to enjoy it. In the heat of the argument, my then sweetheart decided to teach me a lesson. So she drugged me and sold me to a traveling nightmare circus. There, I earned my job at my keep as a sword swallower. And the crowd was just crazy about me, and it wasn't such a hard job to learn. Though it made things a bit more complicated that I had to use real combat swords. I traveled with the circus until I got the chance to escape. A well-known captain, the Hurricane King, came to see one of our performances. He accused me of being a fake and challenged me to swallow his magnificent rapier, a weapon he cherished more than life itself. As the audience applauded, I performed the trick. It ended with my spectacular disappearance in a cloud of smoke. When the reprobate came to his senses and hurried to find me in his cherished rapier, I'd already sold it to an unscrupulous vendor and was fleeing north to flee his revenge. That's why I try to stay away from southern lands. This guy is a doozy. What'd you do in the north? Oh, while taking part in an expedition, quite contrary to my intentions, I found myself hunted by some barbarians. When trying to escape, I climbed up to the mountains, so high the barbarians had to abandon their quarry to the mercy of icy winds and avalanches. So I plodded across the highlands until I spotted a little light in the distance. It turned out to be a tavern where a celebration was underway. The Highlanders weren't too happy to welcome an intruder, but they agreed to give me shelter if I beat them in a challenge. I noticed a sturdy fellow with a simple face wrapped in a cloak, so I picked him to be my rival. The competition? Gluttony. The savage snatched my backpack, turned it inside out, and started to cram all my equipment into his mouth. In a short moment, the greedy Highlander had swallowed all my stuff, the backpack too, and gobbled down my axe for dessert. The barbarians were making bets on how long I would last out in the cold. Then I tore the mammoth skull from the wall, broke off its tusk, and rushed for the huge barrel of beer that comprised the entire wall. I kicked out the cork under the tusk under the rushing stream of beer. I filled it up like a drinking horn and started to gulp. My memories of the next few hours are hazy. I remember vaguely the Highlanders being extremely angry at me for drinking all their beer. I remember how they started to turn into great beasts, and my rival became a wolf with blazing eyes. He charged me, but I caught him by the ears and shoved the mammoth tusk in his mouth like a bit, and tied my mustache to both ends to form reins. Enraged, the wolf shouted out into the night, with me firmly planted on its back. We ran through the blizzard, and the vile dog whinnied in anger and humiliation. In the morning, he stopped running and fell exhausted. I looked around and realized there was not a single snowflake around. In the wild race, we'd crossed the borders of Galarian and entered an amazing place, the ancestors of all the other worlds. I took pity on the wolf and let him go. He ran away at once. As for me, many adventures and exploits still lay ahead. He put a mammoth tusk in a wolf's mouth. The wolf was a shape-shifting dude. Tied his mustaches to the tusk to make reins and giddy-upped the wolf into the night. And why do you stay here? Are you hiding from someone? Only from my numerous fans. My enemies are terrified of me, even the mighty devils. Once, thanks to a certain vile entity, I ended up in hell. Took the wrong portal. Long story short, I found myself in hell, and it was open season on my head. The devil Siroket was chasing me, and all I had to fight her off was a sack of low-quality tobacco, the flute of 100 sea winds, a deaf-mute cobalt servant, and the sulfur which laid in such abundance all around. But that's more than enough to trick clueless devils. When Siroket came for me, I used my gloomiest voice to recite a spell in a language I'd only just invented. On my signal, the kobold ignited the tobacco, the whole sack of it, and clouds of stinky smoke filled the air. I pretended to go into a fit. That was the second sign. The kobold started to play the flute. Have you ever heard a deaf-mute kobold play the flute? The winds have truly gone wild. The final hurricane is descending, the end of all times. And the squirrels, my loyal friends, the squirrels started screeching in different voices from their hiding places behind the rocks. The overall effect was terrifying, I must admit. As for me, I spun a bit of magic to make the clouds of smoke look like the Devil Lord. With a booming voice, the illusory figure praised me for my efforts and gave me another task: to create a grimoire, which would act as a gateway for devils into my world. When the wind subsided and the smoke cleared out, after that, Siroket didn't dare to lay a figure on me, fearing my master's revenge. Devils are extremely stupid, after all. I gotta go. My doors are always open to you. Thanks. Why did you give me this grimoire? Sort from newest items. Black Moor's Grimoire. This spell summons a furious squirrel swarm. It appears where you designate and acts according to its initiative check results. It attacks your opponents to the best of its ability. It has one charge. So one time ever, I can summon a swarm of furious squirrels. That sounds like a final boss move, chat.
Will this ever end?
Let's see, and he does not mind that I am robbing him blind right now. A weird magical thing, obviously, of faraway origin. What the mug did I come back to? Who's this guy? We found a door in the woods, Bluebell, and behind the door was this guy's tower, and he just has crazy stories. Maybe they're true, maybe they're not. Jubilost told me he was full of bullshit a minute ago.
Applause, please.
Robe of False Death. The wearer of this robe is immune to critical hits, but gets -6 to Constitution. This locket makes all level 0 arcane spells cast by the wearer become empowered, extended, reached, and maximized. What? That is insane. The Binding of the Prince. 3 times a day, the wearer may throw this amulet at the enemy. If the target fails a DC 24 reflex, it becomes ensnared by the chain. The ensnared creature takes a -4 penalty to Dex, -2 to AC and attack, takes bludgeoning damage each round. Additionally, each time the wearer takes damage, the chain inflicts half as much damage on the ensnared creature. 27,000 gold value. Damage every round, huh?
I'm not using this stupid thing.
Wait, where does this go? Oh, it's a necklace. So so it does nothing while on you, but 3 times a day you could tear it off and hurl it at someone. Huh.
Follow me. Or don't.
A rusty metal thing. If you want a slight spoiler, helping him finish it provides more content. Well, we already got the book from him. We told him to finish it there. I didn't know it was going to summon squirrels. Okay. Oh, it put me all the way back out to the world map. I guess that's fine. Alright, Little Town. This is where the propaganda machine is. You know what a propaganda is, chat? It's when a British guy takes a good look at something. A propaganda. Oh, are we just gonna attack these people on sight? I mean, I guess I'm game. It's taking them a long time to loot this stuff. Pamphlet printed on cheap paper.
Will this ever end?
So, we're not going to talk these people out of what they're doing. We're just going to murder all the bards. And Lindsay's cool with this. Oh, Lindsay actually went down. I was just watching Knock Knock kill everybody.
Oh, quiet. Ready to stab.
I know what to do.
Okay.
How much longer, I wonder?
I don't know that we got a quest update, so I think there might be more murdering to do. There's some stuff.
Quiet. Ready to stab.
What's over there? I don't even want to know.
It'll let us double check the loot again once we're out. More pamphlets.
Not that I care.
Enemy archers always focus backline. How dare they be intelligent?
Knock more runner and talker than fighter.
What the heck? Where he going?
Follow me! Or don't.
Did he just like playing leave? It looked like one dude was just like, you know what? Muck this. The king is here, he's throwing hands, I'm out. It seems no one noticed your entrance over the bustling noise of the tavern. A young half-elf with long, slicked-back hair and a delicately curled mustache and beard is making a solemn speech. He drawls and flourishes with his hands, and his pretentious red face makes it obvious he's enjoying everyone's attention. Laughter and shouts of approval can be heard from the main table. Many other guests aren't participating in the gaieties. However, some are yawning, while others aren't even listening to the speaker as they focus on their meals. But what's this? Your friend Ivar sits with a long face, picking at a hunk of meat with his fork. The speaker raises his voice once more, and Ivar winces. A werewolf hunter from Silverstep Village who you defeated and allowed to live. So let's raise our cups, my brothers in arms and drinking comrades. Here's to the most enlightened monarch of our times who brought prosperity and culture to Patax. That skillful commander famous the world over for military genius. To the ladies' man who's broken so many hearts with his humble charm and aloof attitude. To the patron of the arts, that philanthropist whose generosity is matched only by his wisdom and taste. In short, here's to Irovetti. A chorus of voices repeats the toast. Many drink up, but far from everyone. Bard, what a farce. His melodramatic eulogies are nauseating. She'll hear you and make a scene again like last time. Finally, after emptying the glass, the half-elf notices you. Good gods, look, my brothers and sisters, look who it is. Is that not Mukluk himself? Did you come in from your dirty boots and tattered hand-me-downs to spoil our feast with that gloomy, hungry look? Tell you what, if you abdicate the throne and swear allegiance to Patax, I'll find a bone to throw you. Some of the dinner guests roar with laughter, while others look at you with interest, maybe even hope. Everyone stops talking and watches you. Knock-Knock, who started falling asleep and even snoring while listening to the speeches, shudders at the sound of laughter and seizes his blades. Talk over? Stab time now? Valerie is pale and her silence could melt iron. The squeal of metal on metal indicates that she must be gripping her weapon, but she isn't rushing to draw it. Ha ha hoo! That has to be one of the most childish, tasteless, awkward rebukes I've heard in my life. Definitely top of the list. Alright, there's a speech I can give as a neutral. I can just attack everyone on sight. I can leave. I can try a diplomacy thing, which is a 35% chance of failing. So 2 out of 3 chance, which is like do an inspiring speech. Wait, we can just ignore the guy completely and say hi to Ivar? I feel like that would be kind of insulting, wouldn't it? Like the guy like makes a big show of talking to me and I just turn away from him and talk to somebody else? A familiar face, Ivar! It's been a long time, how are you? Can't complain, Mukluk. Didn't expect to see you here. I hope no trouble comes to your kingdom. Oh, I was hoping the other guy would be insulted by that. Alright, let's try this, because I don't want to fail this. And it's a 2/3 chance, which is basically XCOM. Bards of the Academy. Whether you're here because you believe me a worthless king, or for the money and laurels promised by Irovetti, I say you should judge me by my deeds rather than speculative rumors. To the former, I say visit my kingdom, see my people, and then you may decide what kind of ruler you believe I am. To the latter, I say come serve me instead. Bear witness that my treasury is abundant and my courtiers are free to speak their minds. Decide for yourselves for whom you work and about what you wish to sing. I guarantee safety to anyone who accepts my offer. People around the room begin whispering, and the noise slowly grows louder until a sonorous male voice says, I've wanted to travel for quite a while. Pay's not very good here anyway, and the food's a little better than slop. Laughter and cries of approval sound from around the room. By the gods, what am I hearing? Would you sell your own father for a fistful of pork and gravy? Your thankless heart is darker than night. I'm so overcome with indignation that I can barely speak. Take up your swords, my friend. Such a disgrace can only be cleansed with blood.
Will prevail.
Really? Really? Alright, knock knock. Now it's stab stab time. Ah, mind fog. Why is Chip doing Darude Sandstorm down here in the corner? Okay. Eliminate the instigators. Complete.
I am prepared.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Any of that any good? Nothing I need to use, I don't think. Oh, this one guy fell in the fireplace. Yoink.
Will this ever end? Not that I care.
Okay, well that's one less problem. So we got the propaganders. We got the beast. We haven't found the bandits yet. Pet Chip again. He's chilling. He's chilling. Some NPC through a random door in the woods that led to a tower or some such thing. Yes. Okay. Hang on. Bop, bop. Alright. So we still gotta find the other thing. We still gotta find the bandits. So we found the menagerie there. Little town over there. Random encounter.
Time to get some rest, isn't it?
I tire.
Let me check the journal again, see if it gives me any hints. Bandits are raiding our provinces along the Pataxian border. Let me use this to see the Pataxian border. Yeah, nice. Yeah, great job, guys. I love that you're failing everything. That's the Pataxian border. Okay. Pataxian stuff. Oh, 45% chance. Wow. Highest we've seen in a while. 50 with a plus 18. Okay. So I'm going down the eastern side of their border right now.
Ugh,
Which
time to
does
get some
not
rest,
appear to
isn't
be
it?
helpful.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Stride
Rest.
wears these medals on herself to hide. Haven't seen such things on goblins. Goblins know how to hide without those.
Do you mean my armor? It's not for hiding, it's for protection. The same function your thick skull provides.
He thinks we wear shiny metal to hide. Speaking of shiny, I had a funny talk with my kid today, chat. He didn't know the definition of chrome as, like, the color. You know, like metallic. He only knew of chrome as, like, the web browser. So I sat him down and explained to him that Chrome existed as a word before Google copied it for their web browser. Then I was like, you know, while we're talking about this, let me tell you what a Google is. Alright, I think we found a bandit camp. Muck, what would you recommend more, Pathfinder or Pillars of Eternity? They're both fantastic games. Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and Pillars of Eternity, all three are very similar gameplay style. Pillars of Eternity Deadfire, the sequel, and Baldur's Gate 3 both feel kind of newer compared to the first three that I mentioned.
Applause, please.
Let's buff
Ready
up.
for anything.
Inimosi tradisi, inimosi tradisi, inimosi tradisi, inimosi
And let's see what's called for.
Will you play Rogue Trader? I did. I did a review video for it too. It's done very well on YouTube. Yeah, on if you're interested, on my second YouTube channel, which is the second link in the chat right now, there is a playlist for Mukluk Plays Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, and there's over 100 episodes if you wish to binge it. There for your binging pleasure.
Thinking.
I appreciate privacy.
I am yours to command.
Alright. That should make us pretty
Letting
strong.
the ink drop.
Time to stretch me muscles.
Dude, imagine you're here just being bandits, and then this 25-foot tall woman in full armor comes charging in with the intent to kill you. Like, looking respectfully dead.
Left yourself open.
Follow me, or don't. Out of my way!
Dude, her arms are so long she can stand behind the other people and stab over them with a dagger. Oh my god. Ilora Nusky, I give, please don't kill me. I'm not interested in dying for Irovetti. Let the dirty creep get someone from his fancy thieves guild in here, see how they like this job, or the way he gets handsy. The bandit wipes blood from her lips with the back of her hand. I have no grudge against you. Irovetti just didn't give me a choice. Had no choice? The favorite excuse of bandits everywhere when faced with the consequences of their sins. Do not believe her, Mukluk. Are you saying Irovetti philandered with you? To put it mildly, he hounded me like he had a swarm of wasps in his pants. Last time I was in Pitax, he'd gone crazy. I was just walking down a palace hallway when I met him, and he was holding this strange wooden sword. I have no idea where he got it from, but he's manic about it now. When he got close, he touched me with the sword, I think by accident. But he turned immediately and tried to pin me against the wall. I pushed him away and was ready to knock him one, but stopped myself. He could have had me killed for that. Since getting that wooden stick, it's like he's completely lost his mind. Is he possessed by a cursed wooden stick? Who are you? My name's Ilora Nusky, chief of the River Razors, or what's left of us. Between you and Irovetti, the scoundrel found us, pinned us down, and gave us a choice. He could kill us all, or we could take our chances fighting your kingdom. We did what he said, of course. It at least gave us a chance to survive. What was your role in the camp? The usual, gathered information from scouts, planned our attacks, recruited and trained new members. But fighting a war is way different than day-to-day banditry along a river or a highway. Our gang dwindled by the day. Irovetti just wanted to throw us into this bloodbath so he could damage you as much as possible before dying. You're not Thieves Guild? No, we have our own gang, good as any. Well, had. Irovetti promised the guild exclusive rights to all the orders in Pitax, not that his word is worth anything. So even before she got forced by the king to fight against my people, she was a bandit and she was killing people. Like, it sounds like the world is better off with this person either in jail or not in it. And my options are Kill her, or let her go. I don't think let her go is good. So I guess I'm gonna click this one. The atrocities you committed are unforgivable. You obeyed a tyrant's will and brought death and ruin upon countless innocents. Prepare to die. Death to enemies of the kingdom! Yo, Valerie's pumped. We'll see who walks out alive. What? You're already dead. Was it her talking? She was literally already dead. Okay. Unfortunately, we once again have no evidence, because there was not an option to take her in for testimonials. If that's a thing here, I don't know. So, if we go to the king now, it's just going to be a lot of, well, a bandit said, well, a goblin said, well, an innkeeper said, and he's going to be like, oh, you're going to believe these people over me? There's a duck.
Will this ever end?
Okay, now what? We've plundered our lands long enough. I already tooth for a tooth. Alright, that's been handled, that's been handled. We need to make sure there are no more threats in the bandits' camp, it says.
I see something.
Maybe over here? If it was a really cool stick, I can understand. Yeah, Iravetti just found one of those sticks. It just looks like a really nice staff. Yeah, you hold it up and it's like a good pretend gun. And he's just like, you don't understand how powerful this makes me. All right, hold on. How do I get across this? There's dudes over there.
To arms.
Oh, there we go.
That hurt? Good.
Disarm the trap. Today, Lindsay.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Be quiet. So.
Cast haste. She's got slow on her. We need to negate it.
Expected outcome.
How
Okay.
much longer, I wonder?
Alright. Anything on the body?
Will this ever end?
Wonder if I'm gonna find like a note or something. It's like, go do bad things. Signed Iravetti with love. And we're like, finally, we got it. Bandit Alchemist. Wait, don't attack. I just work here. I wish you no harm. Knock Knock's ears perk up as he readies his weapon. Others come. Hear steps. The woman's expression suddenly shifts. Couldn't have chatted a few more minutes, you devil. All right, fellows, out of the bushes. We'll fight in the open.
I don't like you.
These invisible gnomes are the size of Valerie's boot. Although they are all throwing grenades, so that is some damage.
Strike with a legend.
Destroy the bandit camp complete. Okay. Chat. There's really only one solution for this. We're gonna need to build a wall and make Iravetti pay for it. That's like the way to solve all these problems. The monsters, the bandits, the propaganders. He's gonna need to build a wall, make Iravetti pay for it. Mukluk time. It's 11:59. I have a whole minute. Do you know how much we could get done in a minute in this game? Not freaking much, because there's loading screens. Not much. Alright, what's the quest thing now? Our only option is to grit our teeth and endure the influence of attacks and wait for an opportunity to counterattack. Okay, well, we dealt with all that crap. So I think now we head back home.
March, march. All I
Just pause
do
time
is
and keep playing.
march.
Dude, if I had the time, the ability to make like a time pocket, I've thought about this before. If I had the ability to make like a time pocket, you know what I would do? Is every day, like pause the time for like the rest of the universe, and then I would go back to sleep, and then once I woke up, you know, without my alarm going off, I just naturally woke up, so I feel like I slept in every day, then I would unpause, and we'd all start our day. The downside to that is I would be aging faster than everybody else. Because every day I'd be tacking on like 4 to 5 hours to my life. Or you know, like taking away another 4 to 5 hours from my life because I'd be sleeping in every single day. I've considered this. I've put a lot of thought into this. The extra sleep might counteract some of the life expectancy. I'm not sure. But basically, instead of like a 24-hour day, I'd be operating on like a 30-hour day. That happened in The Simpsons. Simpson has like 30,000 episodes. Everything happened in The Simpsons. Literally everything. Yeah, new challenge. Think of something that didn't happen in The Simpsons. Muck, maybe you could be featured on The Simpsons one day.
22 muck months.
They've already said the word mukluk on there. There was an
Resting would be
episode where
nice,
Krusty the
don't
Clown
you
said
think?
it. He said comedy isn't about using dirty words. It's about using words that sound dirty, like mukluk. We included that in the mukluk name video. Shirufa, thank you for the tier 1 sub. See, chat, it's a good thing we extended the stream by a minute because I was able to get another lovely supporter out of it. That's more ramen. I want to be in a Sideshow Bob one day or nothing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is there anything else to do right now at the table?
Or don't.
Nothing new there. Address the kingdom. The riots spreading across the city must be addressed at once. Ah, okay, so we could stop the riots this time. DC 25. And she has a plus 10. Cost 25 BP. 28 days to solve. Alright. I think all I can do right now is save it here, and then next time we jump through time a bit, doing events as they pop up until the next big thing happens. Because there's 2 quests where we're waiting on time. The Runaway Throne, and Help the Storyteller Prepare the Ritual, and we're... Okay, so 3. We've actually got 3 things that we're just waiting on time to pass. Alright, so we'll save it there and pick it up from this moment next time.